morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is you're watching this. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the light here. I know the last one was a little dark. Anyways, how was your week? Do anything fun? Do anything fun for Thanksgiving? We kind of hung out. I cooked a few things. Cooked some meatballs in a crock pot. And then I made some homemade 4-cheese ravioli. I say homemade. The ravioli, or the noodles and the cheese and the noodles, the ravioli aspect wasn't homemade, but the cheese was. So I made the cheese. So yes. Bentley learned how to create a video into a GIF. So he's been on my phone doing that. And yeah. Let's see, this is helping. All right. I'm situated here. It's dark, sorry. There we go. It's better. All right, well, I'm getting there. Anyways. All right, so what are you drinking today? I'm drinking usual Stephen Smith Black Lavender, so created the London Fog, so steamed whole organic milk and organic stevia. I didn't add the vanilla because it has vanilla in with the tea, so it creates that vanilla flavoring. So yes. Oh, the GIFs. So Bentley, he a banana. So he starts eating a banana, and well, he won't. If I cut a little piece off or bite a little piece off and give it to him, he won't eat it because it's too soft, the texture of it. But if he bites into the banana, he'll eat it that way because it's still hard. And so I got a video of it, and so we created this cute little GIF out of it. Yes. So anyways, all right. So today we are going to talk about dietary supplements. All right. So as I've said over and over again, there is no one thing that is going to cure your cancer. I need to stop. I know, I need to stop. All right. So there's no one thing that's going to cure your cancer. But last week we talked about herbs and spices. This week we're going to talk about dietary supplements. Now, there are so many dietary supplements. I'm not even going to get into specifics. I'm going to talk about, I know of one of them. I'm going to talk about the one my mom used. And obviously once I talk about that, you'll understand why. I'm not trying to sell it to you by no means, but it's also something if you want to try, you can definitely try. But it's what she used. It was what was recommended to us. They're a good friend. And I mean, it's still what we drink now. My husband and I and my father, we drink it every day. So, yes. But, so when I was 12, my mother was actually diagnosed with high blood pressure. Now, it doesn't run in her family or anything like that. She wasn't, there was like no, I mean, people stress at work, but I mean, there was nothing at work to stress her to the point where she should have had high blood pressure. Nothing going on at home, nothing like that, right? No rhyme or reason why she had high blood pressure. a few years later, this lady that she works with, who is actually from Hawaii, I will say, interesting enough, if you are a football fan, she is Troy Polamalu's aunt. She's a good friend of the family's. No, we never met Troy Polamalu or anything like that. But she had introduced to us a product called Tahitian Noni juice. And the reason she knew about it was being from Hawaii. So the noni, it's a noni plant that grows a noni fruit. It grows in like Hawaii, Tahiti, and a couple other, I think the Philippines. So a couple of the tropical islands it grows. It can only grow there. And she had remembered, growing up, they would always go get the noni fruit off the tree or off the plant and utilize that for a lot of medical things. And so her husband, who was a brick mason, had developed breast cancer. Yes, men can get breast cancer. It's not common, but it can happen. So she was trying to get her family to send her noni fruit when he was diagnosed. And then she did research, and then she found this company called Morinda Incorporated, because the noni fruit scientific name is Morinda Cifolia. And so she started drinking Tahitian noni juice, or having her husband drink it. It actually helped put him in remission, along with other things. And no, I'm not saying Tahitian noni juice is going to cure your cancer. So no. But it did help put him in remission. And she was telling my mom about it because of her low blood pressure or high blood pressure. So my mom started drinking it. We started drinking it. My mom was also on blood pressure medication at the time too. Her blood pressure was getting so low that it was causing her to fall asleep at work. So she stopped taking the medication and stayed on the noni juice. The noni juice then ended up stabilizing her blood pressure, so she didn't have to take the medication. And so then for years, my mom kept on drinking it. So when she was diagnosed with cancer in 2006, at this time I was 23. So almost double the years from which she was initially diagnosed with high blood pressure. When we went to the gastrologist about the tumor on her adrenal gland, one of the first things he asked her was, when you were diagnosed with high blood pressure, did they ever check out your adrenal glands? Which they never did. So here now, we feel that, and even the doctor said that at that time, she could have had that tumor on her adrenal gland, which had caused her to have high blood pressure. But because it was never checked out by the doctors, we would never know. So her cancer could have been caught almost like 12 years earlier. But they also think that the noni juice, because my mother had been drinking the noni juice, that it helped keep her cancer at bay. It was a slow growing cancer, but it felt like it might have slowed it down even more. Because through tests that the company has done, it has at least 4 cancer fighting agents in it. And what it does is it prevents oxygen, which is what cancer cells need, You need oxygen from the blood to grow and to survive. So what the Noni juice does is stops that from going to the cancer cells. I believe that's right. So anyways, so the Noni juice prevents the cancer cells getting the oxygen that it needs to develop. Now, again, I'm not saying it's going to stop all cancer or anything like that. So anyways, my mom, she was drinking this when her case nurse, she was telling her case nurse about it on the phone because the insurance company provided a case nurse. So remember I was talking about this during the Look Good, Feel Good with the wig. The case nurse had coded it where insurance would cover the wig. So the case nurse had looked it up in the physician's desk reference because it is in our physician's desk reference. Though FDA does not approve of it because it's an all-natural substance, they will not approve of that. But the European version, the European FDA, their FDA does approve of it. But the physician's desk reference was basically, that's what she told my mom, that's what it does. And she's like, well, keep drinking it. When my mom was asking her oncologist about it, the oncologist said the same thing. She was just like, keep drinking it. So that's what she did. And so that was what my mom did. Her herbs, spices, dietary supplement. She did the Tahitian Noni juice. Now, why am I telling you all this? Well, one, to tell you that it was my mom's experience. That's what we had. But two, do your research. Do full research on whatever supplements you are taking. I say that because this is Tahitian Noni bottle. This is the original one. How they do this, how this is made and processed is very important. Because you can go to other places. You can go to GMC store or one of those vitamin stores, and you can find freeze-dried Noni juice. You can also find Noni juice that says it's not safe for kids. If something is all natural, why is it not safe for kids? But it's the process that's used in those that causes it not to be. It's the additives they put in that causes it not to be. So with this company, what they do is they get their fruit from Tahiti, and they've actually brought Tahiti, Tahiti's become a rich country or a rich island because of this company, one of the reasons. But they have certified pickers to pick the fruit. So in other words, if you and I were to go to Tahiti, I want to go to Tahiti, and to pick the Noni fruit and try to sell it to this company, they wouldn't buy it from us because we're not certified through them to pick it and know when to pick it. So they have certified pickers that go through and pick this. Then in Tahiti, they break it down into a puree. So they put it into a puree form. They put it, because it still has its nutrients when you do that, they put it in these big gallon tanks, and they ship it across to LA. Bring it to the States. Once it gets there, it goes to the factory in Utah. There, they add in they do grape juice and blueberry juice. They add in 10% of grape juice and blueberry juice. They do that to help with the taste. And they do that with you get all of the blueberries and grape juice. So the skin and everything when they crush it to a puree form to add it in. So you're getting all the nutrients of the Noni fruits, all the nutrients of a grape, and all the nutrients of a blueberry. And then again, like I said, 10% of this bottle is blueberry and grape juice. The other 90% is Noni. Now, I would always recommend drinking it cold. If you ever drink it hot, you'd probably have a few words to say to me. But it's very thick. It's like a wine-like taste. Interesting enough, when I first started drinking it, I couldn't handle just the taste of it. Like, I had to mix it in with like Welch's grape juice. And then after a while of drinking it mixed in with Welch's grape juice, then I developed more of that grapey taste that I would be able, now I can drink it by itself. I've been doing that for a long time. But my point being is, any dietary supplement that you choose to take, learn the process of it. Learn as much as you can about it, even through the companies that are selling it. So a lot of the information I learned through, the company that sold this, information that they put out, journals, scientific information they put out, everything. What's also interesting about this is it has no side effects. The concept of it goes straight to your liver and cleans all the impurities out of your system. So different people are going to have a different response to this. Any medications you're taking, it's going to amplify what that medication's supposed to do. I had as a female, I had really, really intense cramps, really bad menstrual cramps. This helped a lot. It helped calm them down. It helped a lot. We had some people who the lady, she had fibromyalgia. It helped tremendously with her fibromyalgia. Again, like I said, it will affect different people different ways with whatever is going on with their system. So I'm not saying it's going to cure your cancer. I'm not saying it's fixing your fibromyalgia or anything. I'm just telling you this is the experience that people have had with this. You can buy it on Amazon. It is on Amazon. So we do a subscribe and save with it. Obviously, that's a little bit cheaper. But again, make sure the bottle looks like this. It's in this bottle with this company. All right, that's where you're getting your full nutrients with it. If you decide to do it, if you don't, that's fine. Again, my whole point is with the dietary supplements, just do your full research, find out what it does, what's the side effect, what is the process of it. Because again, even freeze-dried, when you freeze-dry it, it removes the nutrients from it. So you're not getting the full nutrients of it because you freeze-dry it, add water to it to bring it up. Now, my mom, one thing she used to do with the Noni, she used to pour her Noni into a water bottle, and she would drink on that all day. Normally it just says, the recommended dose is like 2 ounces a day, but you can drink as much as you want. They even did a whole thing where they had people just drink a bunch of Noni juice, and all it did was make them go to the bathroom because it just cleaned out their system. So meaning like it really has no side effects. The only issue would be is if you were allergic to grapes or blueberries, which we actually had a friend of ours who had a child with cerebral palsy. And she started giving it to her, and she developed this rash. We'll come to find out I think it was the grape she was allergic to. Well, at the time, the company did a Noni puree where it was just Noni in a little bottle. And she got that and tried it, and it did wonders for her. And she started moving more and responding more. And then they stopped. I don't know why they stopped, but they stopped. But anyway, that's not important. But the point being, different people respond to it different ways. Just please do your research. Talk to a herbalist about a diet. If you're taking dietary supplement, find out what each of the ingredients can do, the benefits, the drawbacks. Can it affect whatever treatment plan you're going through, how is it processed, everything, okay? Because sometimes it just might be you just need to, if you like it or the concept line, you just might need to find a different brand of it. The brand might provide what you need, or allow the nutrients in it and not take away from it. Okay, so that's just my thing to you. It's just, with dietary supplements, just do your research. Now I did put the name of the Tahitian Noni in the description if you want it. If not, it's totally up to you. Like I said, I'm not trying to sell it to you. I'm just telling you this is what my mom used. This is our information on it, why we've used it, okay? And why we still drink it today. But with that being said, have a wonderful week. It's December. Did you decorate this weekend for Christmas? When I was young, we used to. The weekend after Thanksgiving, we would always decorate. That's when we put the tree up and decorate it for Christmas. I got a few little decorations I might put up here, but we don't have much here right now, so it's all in my parents' attic. Anyways, well, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy your tea, and next week we'll see you under the willow tree.